Well, okay, let me answer the first question. Is it mind reading? Absolutely not. I don't think that you should be able to roll even if you nat 20 your insight roll, I don't think you should be able to know without a doubt that someone is lying or not, let's say, or that they're a bad character. Um, I think that you could, and this is so hard to do because like if you give to your players and you say you see a quiver in his lip when he says this, if you see
Uh-huh.
this, like you'd have to mix it in with other mannerisms that you've already
I know
displayed. So
exactly where you're going with this.
like if you like twitch your eye or whatever, and then like you notice, you know what I mean? Like you'd have to give them little pinpoints, maybe like a hint. But if you come out and outright just say like, "Oh, this person's straight up lying to you," then what's the point of you even putting on that whole facade in the first place? You know? And and maybe it's just because I'm this type of DM, but I don't think that I'm like I I have a hard time throwing away my plans or me trying to deceive you, um, based off of your one roll with that as well. Also, okay, sorry, I'm not rambling, but I need to let you talk, Riley. However, I think that you can even do like how you would do it like an opposing strength check. I think you could potentially do an opposing, insight versus deception or whatever roll. Like they can roll insight, you roll whatever you're gonna roll, and see how it goes as well. I don't
Almost
know.
like a
What are your thoughts?
contested
Like a
like persuasion
contested
check or something
insight
like
check
that.
or
Yeah.
persuasion or
Yeah.
whatever it might be.
Yeah. So no, I get where you're coming from, and it's part of, in my opinion, going from being a good DM to a great DM. And this is the part that I have really struggled getting over this hump. Um, being, going from just telling people what they're seeing versus describing the scenario and having them discern what they're seeing. There's a difference in the way that you say those two objects. Similar to what you're saying. Oh, they roll an insight check. Yes, he's lying. Well, how is he lying? You can state that yes, you notice that his eye twitches, but as well, you also see that his lip quivers, almost like it's just a nervous tick normally, that he just has some sort of like facial disorder or something like
Mm-hmm.
and so you're giving them all this like facial and physical descriptions. They now get to decide. Now obviously if they roll it really good, you got to give them a little bit extra to make them kind of come to a better conclusion, but they need to come to the conclusion, yeah, he's definitely lying. Based off of the description that he gave me, he's lying. They need to come up with that answer.
Exactly. I
You can't
agree.
just say, "Oh yeah, he's lying." "Oh no, yeah, he said to go this way." And that part I suck at. I know I'm not good at that. It's hard to do, where
Yeah,
you
it
got to
is difficult.
put yourself in every single person that they come in contact with, their personalities, their flaws, their family, what is it that affects them in a social situation? How do they role play and bring that to life so that they can interact in this way? It is very difficult to do all the time,
I
and I find
think,
myself doing it the other way a lot.
yeah. Well, I think something that can help in this situation is, and let me relate this to like a perception check, for example, right? A lot of times we'll have players say, "Oh, I'm going to make a perception check,"
Ugh,
when we're walking down the road, right? And they just roll. Well, what are you
hate that.
perceiving, right? It's like, are you listening for something? Are you looking for something? What exactly are you trying to perceive, right? And I think the same thing could be asked for insight checks. I think you could say,
Mhm.
okay, what are you trying to gain insight on? Well, I want to see if they're lying. That's not a valid thing. Like that may be what you're trying to achieve, but what are you gaining insight on? What are you paying attention to see,
Mhm.
you know, if that, and then you can give them information off of what they're trying to pay attention to. Let's say like
I
I
agree.
want to look at him deep in the eyes, and let's say they roll a 20, and let's just say you see him break eye contact a couple times as he tells you whatever he tells you, right? Bits and pieces, which like that is enough to be like, okay, Like, is he breaking eye contact because he's lying, or is he breaking eye contact because all of a sudden now you're just staring him directly in the eyes? You know what I mean?
So yes, with that point though, this is the part that makes this I think so cool is that if you're able to bring this, and let it the character or the player decide whether they're lying, the roll on their dice will greatly affect how they take a piece of information that they give you. That
That's
same
true.
thing, you could do that same eye shifty thing. What if they rolled a 4? And you still give them that same exact information? They're going to take that completely different than if they rolled a 20.
That's true. Yeah.
So that's the fun play that it's like, oh, the description's the same. It's just you rolled a 4 in your mind, you're thinking, oh, I failed. So they're going to interpret that
Yeah.
eye shiftiness differently. So I don't know. That's
No, it's a
that's
good
the
point.
beauty of this, rather than just saying, oh no, he's not lying, or oh, you can't tell. That's the other thing, is that the word choice that you use, if they did roll a 4 and you say you can't tell if they're lying, rather than he's not lying, well, that just means that they failed to check and they need to roll a better one to just get the confirmation that he's lying. But you basically told them that he's lying by your word choice. But
Hmm.
with the description now, they're in their minds, playing this game of cat and mouse of like, is he, isn't he? I don't know. And so it leaves the mystery up to them and they have to then make the choice.